Before history was written, wisdom was remembered.
When the Matriarch speaks, time listens.
Lafayette from them 11 of Risha Stone. How y'all doing tonight?
All
Thankful and
right.
grateful, thankful and grateful.
I say. And I had to take last week off. Man, there was so much energy going around and so much to do. Example. I say. So how have y'all been? I know last time we talked, High Priestess, you were doing your traveling and going handling a lot of different business. How y'all doing tonight? What's been going on with y'all?
Yeah. So everything is great. We just finished our spring equinox event. And like I said, we do them all on each of the equinoxes and each of the solstices. And we just completed that, and it was awesome. And, we're ready to go ahead and, do what the energy of the planet is doing, and that's springing forward into some new things or things that have really been seeded already, and they are blossoming in this spring. So yes, so very exciting. Yes.
I'm excited as well because I know you always gonna give us some useful information that we can utilize in our lives. Before we get started, OJ Yemi, how are you?
Thankful and grateful, Nabi. Thankful and grateful.
Yes, ma'am. And OJ Yemi, you call me as soon as we finish watching Mayotte show. You call me and be like, "Yeah, we gotta tap in to this red magnetic serpent energy." And I wanted y'all to break that down for me tonight. But tonight is Matriarch Monday, and we named it the Blue Castle. Now, OJ Yemi, I want to start with you. Why did we name this the Blue Castle tonight? Can you break that down for us?
Because the energy for these last 10 plasmas or the last 10 days have been so high. This blue castle, which is every 52 days, is, I think, the most intense of them all because we have 20 gap days for galactic activation portals, but we also have 20 mystic core column days. Now, the mystic days aren't as powerful as the galactic. They're more for resting and being still. But the galactic activation is when the veil is at its thinnest, and we should watch our thoughts, our words, our actions, and our deeds because it's instantaneous.
Sure. Thank you for that. We'll get it started tonight. So, with that being said, I love having this conversation with you guys because Goddess OJ Yemi and Goddess High Priestess Mayotte, y'all really break down a lot of things that we see as just regular symbolism, things that we see as artifacts and everything else. You guys can actually tap into it, or you guys can actually tap into it and break it down for us and explain to us what is this, how can we use this in our life. A lot of people just like talking and spearing out use of this information. But if you actually put these 52 acts of unity into play and tap into your wave spells, it actually manifests like the goddess said. So you were talking recently on your last live about the red magnetic serpent. Can you break that down for us a little bit, High Priestess?
Yes. So give thanks. So the cycle that we're in just began, and it began with what's called the red magnetic serpent, which is starting off the wave spell of life force. And so when we're using that energy, okay, if you remember, red initiates, white refines, blue or black transforms, and then yellow completes the cycle. It finishes the cycle. So the energy that we're in now is this wave spell, right? And so that energy deals with the, they say it's survival, but I like messing around with the etymology of words. The way that survival is used or explained is usually from a perspective of really what means subvival, which is below vitality. But sur actually means above and beyond, right? So we're talking about being we're talking about supreme or super vitality, right? And that is how our life force is supposed to be, right? When we are primary in our function and our mission or our purpose, then our life force is primary. And when it's primary, it's vital. How do we know this? Like, you ain't gotta believe nothing I say, right? But just watch what happens naturally. The best place to start is with children. Just think about what are they doing? How is their life force? Soon as they come out, right? The first thing they do is try to move, right? We done heard about these babies, they holding their head up in the first hour. First few hours of coming through the portal. And then they're walking. And then once they learn how to walk and run and do things, like, think about it. You take your child or your grandchild to the park or whatever. The first thing they do when you open the doors, you say, go. What do? They start running. That's the vitality. That is natural life force. That is the natural force of life for a divine being in this formation. We are literally vital, right? And then sometimes we could, we still feel it, right? When we see, some, we go out there and do a cartwheel and, roll around, have fun with the children or whatever, So this wave spell is about that force of life, about being super vital and about knowing the instincts. Now, before I go further into that life spell, let's talk about this blue castle, right? Now, the way I explain it is a little different than the way Dream Spell explains it, because I just would like to bring it down to a practical level. So when we're talking about these castles, we're talking about these 5 periods that you had that break up that 260-day cycle, right? The 260-day calendar. This is the one that we always talk about, and if we have a guest, we'll do a reading on the person who comes in, and is usually like a 1-to-1 match, right? Because these are galactic incarnation signatures. So on this 260-day cycle, we could break that down into 5 cycles, right, of 52, right? And so the first, the one where you start your new birth, your new paradigm, a new way of being, right? And there are 4 13-day cycles in that, right? The second one is the one that we just completed, and that is where you explore your destiny, right? So that would be the second castle. So and that one starts off with your prophecy, and in the end, it's your prophecy. You go into I'm saying I was gonna say deathlessness, but the opportunities when you surrender, right, to the truth of your being, right? And then you get resurrected, and then you have the influence. Once you finish those 2 cycles, it's time to now take note and say, well, wait a minute. Let's see now how all of this applies to who I am and who I'm being here on earth. And so I call this the cycles that attune. When you listen to what OJ Yemi was talking about when she was talking about that column, where you literally have the opportunity to tune into these energies that are coming from these past portals. And with those, we're not necessarily looking into the past and, trying to hold on to those things. It's a place for you to put away things from the past, right? It's also a place for you to go in there and sankofa those things that you left behind that are useful to you now. It's like a sankofa, right? And then you have the mystic column that she was talking about. That's that column where you are in the core, where you're really attuning these frequencies. And then you have the final part that now is about these future portals. Now, again, if you're not familiar with this cosmology, I don't know, that may not make a whole lot of sense, right? It may be something that seems like, well, what are we talking about? How can this help me? What can I do with this information? Right? It makes more sense, one, when you know your galactic signature, right? Because then from there, you would know then how all of this applies to your force of life. Like, for example, Orisha Stone, you are in this wave spell, this serpent wave spell, right? We coming up on you real fast, right? In 3 days, right?
Yes.
Because you are kin 113 and we are on kin 111, right? Is that right?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
111.
Okay. Yes, 111.
Okay, yeah. So so this is a cycle of 13 days, right? And your archetype is the 9th of those 13 days, right? And so you hold the position to set the intention for life force, because you're in the 9th tone. You're that solar tone. Now, if we go into your archetype, right, then we can even take it a little further, right? And say that you set the intention for destiny, right? And the force of life for your destiny, or the life force of destiny, you intend to explore further, realize more of what that means, right? When you take on this force of life, right? And so it depends on your archetype. Like for me now, I'm the wind, right? Now I'm not in this wave spell, but it is I'm a white kin, right? Because I'm the white galactic wind, right? So when it comes to this period of time, and starting with this wave spell is one that is very supportive, right? For me, it supports everybody, but I'm saying every time each plaza, each wave spell, whether the moon or whatever, you look to see what particular chromatic it's in, what color, right? And then that would relate to who you are. So for me, red represents planetary support, right? It is what supports me on the planet. So as for the white cans, while we're in this wave spell, you know what I'm saying? This is the time where you think about, okay, so what is it that I need to support my life force? Because that's the energy that we're in. for the redkin, right? Since you're a redkin, but you're also in this wave spell, you would be thinking about this thing. How is life force guiding my life force? Right? Because you're already a redkin. Blue. Am I still being heard? Okay, I saw the thing spinning. For the blue, for that come in as a. I'm sorry. Say it again.
No, it was just having a small delay. We still hear you though.
Oh, okay. All right. For those, okay, great. For those that are blue, right? Then what they would do is this would be a great time to think about the mental part of their life force, to think about it. Hey, let me really sit back here and think about what's going on with my life force, right? Maybe I haven't determined yet, how I want my life to be. Believe it or not, I said this, you were talking about Friday. I said this on there. We literally have the ability to determine how we want to live. It's just that we have gone through this programming that says, no, everybody else, every other person, place, or thing gets to decide that or gets to determine that for us. And so sometimes it takes a moment, right? Let me go to the yellow before, because that could be another point that we want to go on. But the yellow, right? For the yellow, this is an emotional part, right? But not emotional in a bad way, right? Because emotion means to put in motion. And so this is now, I'm going to put my life force into motion. I'm going to be super vital, right? I have divine instincts. What is it that I truly want to move forward? And so this is how we would then use this cycle, right? This is a practical way of using the cycle.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, we can go on for all night. Like,
okay. I was
as far as the calendar, she said the blue castle. I'm learning something new every day. But when you look at these glyphs, they laid it out for us to understand it. So when you say the blue castle, can you break down for us, OJ Yemi, while the goddess is getting right? Can you break that down? What does the blue castle represent for us?
Well, like she said, the color blue is transformation. But we're in the blue castle, and each 13, 52 weeks or a month, 52 days or a month. So each castle has four wave spells. 13, 4 times, 52. So we just left the white wave spell. Now we're in the blue wave spell. But in this wave spell, in this blue castle, everybody is birthed in a castle. Each kin that has a galactic signature is birthed in a castle. So for the next 52 days, from 105 to 157, it's going to be the blue castle wave, blue castle. This wave spell, we're in the red serpent. The next wave spell will be the white mirror. The next wave spell will be the blue monkey. The next wave spell will be the yellow seed. And all of those are in the blue castle.
Yes, ma'am.
So, but in this blue castle, we have galactic and, as my high priestess was saying, the mystic column. Whereas we have more gap days in the blue castle than we do in the other castles. And the gap days or gap plasmas are opportunities, should I say, where the energy I like the energy frequency. The veil is the portal is open to us, as High Priestess said, to use how we choose to use it.
Yes, ma'am. A goddess just asked, DJ Sweetness just asked, how do I know if I'm a blue, white, or red kin?
She can look on her phone and type in Galactic in what's it depends. You can go lawtime.org and go in there and they have a calculator to determine your galactic kin.
And I think this is important because people really be tapping into the zodiac thing and allowing people to tell them what their archetype is. Then we'll even like we try to get away from that, and then we'll start getting into the Chinese zodiac, and we start talking about fire horses and everything else. And I'm not saying it's irrelevant, but I think it's more relevant when we tap into what our culture says it is, because it's very similar in all these different attributes. They're very similar to the next, but this one's more direct with our personal selves. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it because just like you said, if you're telling everybody, okay, we're familiar with, so a lot of us are familiar with what they call the retrograde, so we're kind of braced for it or prepared for it, right? But what if we rode the wave, like you said, ride the sound wave? You know what I'm saying? And understand, okay, this week we push, next week we pull back. You know what I'm saying? And just figure out the wave. So
listen. So this is my perspective. We have been so programmed and trained that everything that is bigger than us, like, you know, the sun is huge and the moon is huge and all of this stuff, that it is something that we need to that we are beneath it in a sense, right? Or that we have to it's beyond us. I'll say it that way. And so, like with the retrogrades and things like that, and I understand, you know, what they mean and whatever. But we have moon cycles. We have the whole cycle of the moon in our bodies every single day.
Yes.
Okay, every day, every cycle of the moon. We have everything that happens in the universe happens in our bodies.
Oh, sure.
And so, is it beyond us? Are we really in retrograde, or do we get to tell the retrograde, you know, what it can and cannot do with us? And
you tell the retrograde what it can and cannot do.
Come on. I don't even know when they come. People like, oh yeah, it's in retrograde. I'll be like, oh, here's my question, right? And I know this is when they start kicking me off stuff, right? And out of rooms and like, be quiet, happy, right? So, you know, they say don't make no contracts and things like that in retrograde, or it can go bad, or this and the other. What is it when you do a contract? You did everything right, right? You signed, you waited until it was the a new moon. It wasn't nothing in retrograde. It was, you turned around 3 times. You took it to the water. I know I'm rolling over toes, but you did all of that, and you prayed to the ancestors, and everything went bad. Now you didn't do it in a retrograde. So what happened?
Wasn't for
what
you.
Is that?
He said they were gonna kick off when she started talking about it.
So if we have to do it this certain kind of way, okay. It went out for a second for me. I don't know what happened. Okay, you can still hear me. Okay, great. So
yes, we can hear you.
when we are aligning with the cosmology that is not necessarily putting us beneath it, but telling us how to use these frequencies that are within us, then you have a different kind of experience. I love this because this is why we in this wave spell of life force. So this is a great time to define, like, what do you really want for your life force? Who really are you? Now, here's where we run into the problems. Because as soon as you say that, right, the program jumps in, right? Or the ego jumps in, or the personality jumps in, or the, or whatever, and may give you a false impression of what that means. But if you do it from the heart, from source, and really, like, if you really tap in, you might say, hey, listen, I'm not sure, but I do know that I like to help people. I love working with children or whatever. And I'd like to do it on a level where it helps everybody. So then now we're talking. Now we're talking. Now we're talking about the truth about your force of life, right? That takes us back to this blue castle, right? Or what I call this period that goes through a tuning, right? Mm-hmm. And now you have a different way of experiencing things. Give me 1 second here. Go ahead with the next question. I'll be right back.
Everybody go get you a cup of tea and sit back and enjoy yourself. We're gonna take in this knowledge and take heed to it. How you feeling now?
I'm thankful and grateful. But I loved when she said that, when she talked about the life force and the vitality and what we can do with the wave spell and what we can do with the blue castle. Because I'm like her, nothing is greater than us. Nothing is bigger than us. We've been programmed to think that, oh, well, we always create stories. Well, when you have your galactic signature, that is the story. That's your birthright. That is the story. We no longer know anything about synchronicity. So when we are in a flow of synchronicity, it's like it's foreign to us because we saw 1260 until the 1320, we've lost synchronicity. But I'm like HP, there's nothing bigger than me. There's nothing greater than me. We're all, should I say, have an opportunity to express creation, source. I like it when she calls us sorcerers.
Sorcerers, yes. Yep. And it is okay to be that. It's okay to be that. It's okay to, not be unapologetic about it. The problem, like I said, is sometimes because the belief is that in order to be a goddess, a divine being, whatever it is, that it comes with a hierarchy. You are better than these group of people or that group of people. That comes from colonizing.
Mm-hmm.
That comes from being at war in that kind of way, right? Being in a combat, right? Because that doesn't make sense to a divine being, or to again, look at trees, right? I love trees. Y'all know I'm always talking about trees, right? I always like to point it back to nature.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you may have you can tell the older trees because they're bigger, they got stronger, whatever. But what they do underground, that network is not necessarily based on who is in charge. There's a bunch of them that's in charge.
Mm-hmm.
right? And then they decide how everybody gets, sunlight and water, but then there are certain trees that don't get as much. And some of them, they give more of the resources to, and there are others that they just determine, hey, you know what, they're not going to make it. The way this is done or whatever. They don't just keep feeding the resources to them. So now in our society, right, we might look at that and say, oh, why they leave them people out, whatever. But I just think that because we have this program, if we were able to X out that program, then we would be able to look at things in a different way, because this way has told us to look at things in a linear mind, or in a mind that's always in conflict,
Mm-hmm.
a mind that's always looking for a problem, or something is better, higher, lower, all of those different terms. I call that the war language. We speak the language of war.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Even I think when we raise our children, you got to be the best. You got to be better.
Yep.
I'm just,
Yep.
that's competition.
That's
Now,
right.
don't get me wrong. There's a healthy competition, but there's also a competition where you're programming your child.
Yep. The other part is the deficit.
Mm-hmm.
Being in a deficit. Always working yourself from the bottom up.
Mm-hmm.
Who said that? What if you are the whole thing right here, right now?
Sure.
As soon as you reach the point of maturity, right? You everything. And then because the way you have grown up, you have been told that you're not, then you were everything is from a deficit. And so you feel deficient in everything. And so that's why we think we below the moon, or below the sun, or below a cosmos, when we care. Like I like to tell the women, you know what I'm saying? If you have gone through, let's say you at menopausal age, you know how many supernovas you have had in your body?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What being could do that? When we have a menstrual cycle, they say that's the closest. There is nothing living that can bleed as much as we bleed and still be alive. So what does that make us? We must be something else. I've been asking this question. The sorcerers, right? I've been asking the question, what is the primary function of a human being? And nobody come up with the same answer. Why? Because we are sorcerers, like you said. We are of source. And we get to determine that when we come here. Now, maybe one of the basic functions is to bring all of the information. Oh, white electric wizard. Okay. Give me 1 second. 1 second. We bring in all of this information into the physical form. That could just be a basic function for a so-called human, is to remember. So let me see, what's this question here?
Brother said, because you having a little bit of a delay. Brother said,
okay.
Bemissa Eurisha, I'm White Electric Wizard, February 28th, 1963. I'm new to this. To the High Priestess Mayat, what does that mean?
Yeah, so the wizard is the wizard really is the jaguar, right? They said that the jaguar was a mystical creature, and they believe that the jaguar had a different level of intelligence than the other big cats, because one, they didn't necessarily hunt humans. They knew humans were not food, and because they're quiet, and they believe that the jaguars would jump portals. They would, because you can't see a jaguar coming, you can't feel it. You know what I'm saying? It just be on you. You'd be like, oh, there's a jaguar. But kind of like fruit flies. Have you have you ever tried to follow a fruit fly with your eye? It seems like they pop in and out of portals.
Mm-hmm.
Mosquitoes too.
Yes.
You try to follow them, you can't, where did they go? And then they pop back in, and so they believe that about the jaguars. So the jaguars are called wizards, right? And they are the masters of portals because they deal with timelessness, being beyond time. Huh?
I said I'll say.
Yeah. And so and so the wizards deal with timelessness, and they're like I call them like the speedsters that you see in the movies, right? They, where the speedsters are going real fast, but then they can see everything that's happening, in slow motion. So they deal with being receptive to time. So sometimes the wizards have a hard time dealing with this world. They might be, now they either, this is how they deal with it. They usually have some form of art that they do, like they are musicians. If you look at some of the celebrities, we've been looking at this for a while. A lot of them are wizards, yellow suns. A wizard is very common in the arena of so-called celebrity, right? Because the wizards usually have some sort of art that is, kind of out of this world. And so, but in general, the wizards are highly sensitive. Why? Because they are receptive to just about anything, right? So they have this receptivity. So that the electric wizard, right? Whoever that is, they are probably very, very, very empathic. And may have had a very hard time growing up, because they can feel everything and everybody as if it was them, and within specific time periods too. May have had a lot of out-of-body experiences, a lot of out-of-body dreams and things like that, and didn't know, where it was coming from. And maybe, hopefully, they had someone around them to explain it. But I'm looking at the year 1963. Unless you had a different kind of parent, it was probably very, very difficult growing up with having those types of abilities and seeing those types of things. And then being receptive beyond just your regular, like you got people that are empaths, they're empathic, but they can handle it. But the wizards sometimes are extremely empathic. And with this one being the electric one, they're bonding with people. So sometimes you might be a recluse by now, because it might have been too much for you unless you learn how to cope through music or art or something like that.
Also, Brother Roger, you said it's been a minute. Yeah, man. One thing about it, man, when we learn these different things, we tend to ping pong around for the dopamine of new information. But sometimes if we sit with the information and really just study the information, like what she just broke down about the white electric wizard, now you're supposed to go deeper and deeper about that and study it. Like we bounce around with so much information. So sometimes it's okay to sit back, relax, and ingest some of this information and take time with it. So that's what I've been doing, really trying to study and take it, and take it a little bit more slower so we don't miss nothing.
Especially when you get your galactic signature,
I say,
sit with it and you meditate and it will reveal itself. And I think that maybe he needs to, it is suggested that he reach out deeper to the high priestess and get us, a reading.
I say.
Because when you go to the law of time, they only give you your
And I'm
galactic.
about to.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was about to say, and I'm about to do a class.
Yes.
I'm about to do a class on this, and everybody will be able to. You'll really get an in-depth understanding, overstanding, and understanding of your unique archetype and how it relates to a lot of different perspectives.
I love what you just said earlier, though. Like when you said some people have a hard time dealing with this world, right? But that's why that's why you're here, because you're creating a world within a world. Can you, I mean, just in case people don't know, I still want to remind them. Can you tell people again about Melanated, as much as you would like to talk about Melanated Immortals and what you're doing? Because like I said, you're creating a world within a world. And if you're really like you're committed a community. If all these people are to my kin numbers, they already a step ahead of a lot of different people that don't have a kin number or don't know the galactic signature. So now you get to know yourself. We're coming together. We're coming to the community. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So please tell them a little bit about Melanated Immortals.
Yeah. So the mission of Melanated Immortals is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of divine frequency beings with immortal health and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. And so we do that through three different points, right? One, with this cosmology, because one of the things about this cosmology is it's not necessarily a replacement or or whatever of any other thing. But one of the things that we found is that it really grounds you into a purpose.
Ashe.
Right? It grounds you and it's a confirmation of a lot of things that you've probably already known about yourself, but maybe you've been told, no, you're not supposed to be so mean, you say things like that, and automatically I already know that's about one of 3 or 4 archetypes that I can name right off the top that have that thing. But you're supposed to be like that, right? People might say, oh, you're not supposed to be so spacey and whatever, and you're always in the ethers or whatever, you need to stop doing that. Well, this one, it reminds you that why you're like that, right? And so we use that. Then we also deal with the divine feminine. That's why we here on Matriarch Mondays, right? So we do something called the womb evolution technique. And that is the one where we were talking about, the supernovas that happen in the body. Once you reach a certain period and you are now what they call menopausal, premenopause, perimenopause, whatever, right? Now you're reaching the stage where you have a black hole or a vortex, and that energy is super powerful, right? Don't let nobody tell you decline at that. You do the same thing that cosmos does, right? Because that's a womb up there. And so your womb, you walking around with it, right? You carry suns in your body. With our young girls, instead of telling them when they're getting their cycle that, now you can have a baby. Well, you don't want to tell, they getting their cycles at 8 years old. Right? You don't want to tell no 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You know what I'm saying? You're not trying to tell them to prepare for childbirth. We tell them it's the beginning of their womb power. Right? And then we have the melanin frequency. And the melanin frequency is a vigil. So just like you see Tibetan monks and Buddhist monks, and they praying for world peace and everything. Well, we have a vigil that we have been focused on since the fall equinox of 2019. That's for the betterment of melanin dominant people worldwide, right? Because it's very specific. Because if we come on, if we get into alignment, everybody gets into alignment. Every being, every animal, every plant, every insect, everything. Because we have the full frequency of this whole planet in the cosmos, and everybody gets put on. So we have a whole frequency, a whole vigil that we've been doing year after year after year just for that.
Also, let's not talk about every Friday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Talk about what?
Friday,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Friday.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. So every Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do something called Aligning with Cycles. And we be seeing Arisha Stone on there, right? He come in regulating, hit the like. He be like, how many people on here? Well, we should have that many likes on here. I ain't mad at him though. I like it. So that's when we do Aligning with the Cycles, and that's another way that you can learn more about this cosmology that we're talking about. And then on Sundays at 6 p.m. We are that's when we talk about, that's when we do the melanin frequency, and we're doing the 52 acts of unity so that we can practice or learn how to become unified again, right? And then those are the two. And then every 13 days, we have what we call the chant call. And that's when we bring in one of these cycles that we're talking about. So there's a lot there, you know, that you can get in tune with. And then, of course, now we're going to be offering this class, and it's you know, for those who want to know more, because once you get your archetype, you know, that'll be fine. You get it, you read about it, you can learn a little bit about it, but to really, really go in depth, the course will help.
So when does the course start, HP?
Oh, I was trying to read the chat. Okay, so Sunday, April 11th. That is going to be on Sundays. We try to get in and out. We start at 9 a.m. and we look to get out about 10:30. Right. And so you can go to the website of melanatedimmortals.com and go to the events page and RSVP, and then we'll get you all of the information about it.
And if you don't mind, real quick, the reason I say y'all, what y'all doing is so important, and you always kind of downplay what you're really doing and everything, but you're creating a community with all the in this, whatever they want to year, whatever they want to call it. A lot of frauds have been being exposed. A lot of scammers are being exposed, and we need more positivity and real consciousness, because they made the conscious community into a hustle. So now the community where they can actually learn something. We're like we said, the indigenous come on tonight, and she talks about genealogy. You talking about even going further than just knowing your grandmother. Now you get to know yourself. You get to know your ancestors. You get to know your archetype. And it feels a whole lot better when you know your purpose, man, and you know why you're doing certain things in your alignment. I like it more than anything because it's always giving out something positive. If 85% of everything we hearing is negative, everybody wants to do the propaganda, the scare tactics, the war. I like listening to your page because y'all always pushing out positivity. The music's good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all telling different people everything that they telling you don't study. That's what I want to tap into. And this is our ancestors' our way of life, for lack of a better word. I don't want to say the word religion, but this was their way of life. You know what I'm saying? So I love the positivity from your network. So most definitely tap in on, you say, Friday risings and Sunday evening, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I say, you know, yeah, definitely. I would say if we keep going back and back into our bloodline, and we keep going and going and going, you know, who we gonna find? The source.
Source.
That's our most ancient ancestor. So,
you know, had a basic question. Peace to Arisha Stone and Matriarch. Gratitude to you all. What is the galactic signature? And like I said, what you're teaching for us, to you, it might be the basics, but to us, this is kind of, you know what I'm saying, next level. So what is the
Okay.
galactic signature, and how do you learn what your signature is and what it means? If you want me to go first, tap into Melanated Immortals, contact either OJ Yemi or Goddess Mayat, so they can give you your reading and everything. I'm pretty sure you don't want to put all your information on right here, so you'll get a private reading from them. They'll give you your galactic signature and your kin number. And now, what does that mean? What does it mean to have your galactic signature? Goddess Mayat.
Okay. So the galactic signature, it is based off of a 260-day cycle, right? Which is 260 days is approximately 9 months, right? And so that is how long it takes to incarnate into this formation, right? And so that's why it's a galactic signature, right? Each of the archetypes, I call them archetypes, you know, the archetypes, they are solar seals, right? So these are they're part of the you know, like if you think about yourself as being a sun, you know, a solar seal that comes into this formation. They call that, the ancestors call the 260-day cycle, the 260 expressions of the creator. So the creator comes in these solar seals and these tones, or these the functions, when you put them together, 20 solar seals and 13 functions or roles called tones, then you get to 60. So that is why it's called a galactic signature. It's like when you touch down, you know what I say, when you touch down into human form, who did you come in here as? Right? And so these signatures give you a focus, you know, and usually I haven't done one that hasn't been on point with who the person is. Right? I haven't seen it where it doesn't match.
And it's new information. A lot of people, you say, well, galactic sounds too crazy, right? But you believe in zodiac. You see what I'm saying? We believe in with all these other different things that they're saying about us, but the galactic signature, yeah, most definitely is explaining exactly who you are and your purpose in the community. And it's giving you a community. You see what I'm saying? Not to mention, this is ours, not something that you just made up. This is something that's ancient. When they say the Mayan calendar is the ancient matriarch calendar. And as we all know, or should know by now, all those calendars are actually maps. Matriarch.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's why we got to tap into it. If you're talking about the Olmec, this is the spirituality of not just the stones, but the spirituality of it. This goddess actually breaks down what the calendar means and everything else. So it's like it's putting pieces together of the puzzle. So
And what I do like about your galactic signature is it opens you up. It's really the beginning and it's the first layer, but it opens you up to so much more, that the part of you that program part of you begins to fall away. That war part of you begins to fall away. That deficit part that HP talks about begins to fall away. It's like it opens your eyes up to who you truly are and who you truly came to be.
I see.
And when you tune into Mimic, there's no war, there's no deficit. It's all about upliftment.
Mhm.
So I'm like, Nabi, to all those people out there telling you that they can take you to wherever they want to take you, that's not what's being said at Mimic. Mimic says, here's a map. We can assist you, but you have to do it yourself.
I see.
I say, give thanks.
Get into the tribe. You got to do the work. You got to show your report card. So, guys, I appreciate both of you so much.
I want to show off my necklace, though. Can I show off my necklace?
It's beautiful. That's gorgeous. What kind of stones you got?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wait a minute. So this one is jade, right? This one, and over here, this is jade too. And then these are moonstones. And then I got some silver and copper wrapped around here. I actually held this like this and closed my eyes. And then, you know, I was in another world. So I said, wait a minute, I got to leave that alone for right now. Maybe I'll do that as I go to sleep. And these are turquoise. And I forgot what you told me. This one. This is the.
You having turquoise. You have turquoise on. You have jade, clear quartz. Those clear quartz are actually thin sway balls.
Yeah.
Sway balls keep the energy going through you good. You're really supposed to put them into your house, but your body is your temple. So yeah, those are thin sway balls that keep your energy clear. And clear quartz is also programmable energy. So long story short, everything that you're saying out your mouth, everything you're professing, everything that you're preaching, like you're the minister of all these great things. You're magnifying and manifesting that with the clear quartz and the moonstone.
I say
you're the right wing, so I put moonstone in there because that's one of the clear quartz and moonstone are the purest white stones, and it's manifestation stones. So what you say manifests.
I say.
So as far as the turquoise helps you communicate with your ancestors, and the jade as well communicates with your ancestors. It represents just what mimic represents. Melanated immortals, well, jade represents immortality.
I say, all right, love it. Love it. Give thanks. It's a beautiful gift.
I see. And thank you for even allowing us to be your jeweler.
Yes.
For lack of a better word, but since we're in the Galactic Council, that's our intergalactic passport. You see what I'm saying? You were just talking about the Jaguar going through inner dimensions. If you know who you are, what you have is the Unk is the key. So you have the key to the realms you're responsible for. If you're in the wind, you have moonstone and quartz to communicate with the wind. Turquoise is earth, wind, and water. Stone. So you can communicate with the wind entities, the weather entities, the earth entities, and the mother entities mostly. You know what I'm saying? You most definitely can. A lot of those stones are connected to the grandmother. So when you're in your plant medicine, you know what I'm saying? When I think you didn't you say you're also your archetype is also Virgo? I got me out.
Well, I think she froze.
No, it's okay. Well, most definitely with that piece, if you're doing any kind of plant medicines or any kind of meditations, sit with your piece. These aren't just, I mean, we make it seem like it's jewelry, we make it look, you know what I'm saying, decent or whatever, but the stones is chemistry. This is really chemistry, it's alchemy. And we're putting the stones together, so sit with them, manifest with them. Or we're just like everybody else, we're just selling you something. It should be active, it should be of some kind of purpose and use to you. It's a spiritual tool. So once you know who you are, you get your intergalactic passport that only fits your galactic signature, and you can use it, and it helps you manifest. So one of these days, OJ even gonna show you her. So, Goddess High Priestess, what is your cash app? How can we support you? And what do you have coming up next?
Okay, so I'm in Cash App jail, so we can't do Cash App, but we can do PayPal.me. But the best way I would say to support is because we have so many questions about the cosmology, is to come to the class. Let's fill this class up, right? Yes. So we have the 13 tones of creation that's coming up on April 12th. That is on a Sunday. That's going to be at 9 a.m. You know, it's not too early, not too late, you know, and you'll have your questions answered. You know what I'm saying? You'll learn a lot about this cosmology, you'll get your introduction. You really gonna get to know your archetype. So then, like when you come into aligning with cycles, when you're on the chant calls and stuff like that, then you really be able to flow with that a lot better and faster. So yeah, definitely I'd love to fill that class up.
And you have better and you have a better understanding of waves, spells, and castles and
Yep. You're gonna walk through your own castle, right? Of the 52 years, your 52-year cycle. Now, even if you're not 52 or if you're over 52, either way, that's great. Those are then you're gonna use it as a planning tool, right? So you can see what your pattern is so far, and then let's say you 48, right? Yeah, and so you have a few more years till you get to 52. That's great, right? Because then the rest of those years, you can then now go ahead and jump in front of it and say, okay, by the time I hit 52, I see how I've been going, and I need to like tweak this, and I'm gonna put this in order. If you've already finished your 52-year castle, that's great too. We still gonna use it as a planning tool because you're gonna be able to see all your patterns. You're gonna say, okay, so the first half of my life, this is what I see I've done, and I'm excited that I've now come to this place where I don't have to repeat these cycles. And so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plan for this, right? We're also going to talk about where you are, right? If you are initiating, refining, transforming, or completing a cycle. Those things are very important, right? And they will also confirm some of the things. Like a lot of when I talk to people and they say, oh man, my whole life just fell apart, everything is going wrong, and I already know, I say they in transformation, right? So we're going to also help you prepare for those cycles and then tell you, like, if you are already in it, like, here's what you can do. Here's some things of what you can do when you're in initiating, when you're in refining, when you're in transformation, when you're in completing, right? So it's going to be an awesome class. And like I said, it's been 2 years since I've done that class live. So it's not something, hey, welcome Blue Cosmic Monkey, Ken 91. Yeah. Yeah, so it's definitely something you want to get now because I'm the win, right? So good luck catching me again to do a live class because I do them when I feel like them. So I know. It's not, I'm not supposed to, but yeah, that's how it is.
I love it because, like I said, my page is for everybody. My page is for people that already in tune with different kind of artifacts. They've already went around the whole world trying to find themselves and doing research, and that's what makes us special over here. We went around the whole world looking for information because they hid everything about us. And this is the one thing that they really don't want to step it into. Again, I say this is older than Christianity. This is older than Islam. This is older than all their cosmologies and all this other stuff. You see what I'm saying? When you look at this, they gave you your own, your prototype. And knowing that you're in the fence way of life, you just, like you said, you don't even have to worry about retrogrades no more. Things come to you because it's meant for you. You know where you're meant to be. So I love the community. I watch your show all the time. I love the community. I love the unity. I love the fact that you tell people to be a part of this. A lot of people say to be a part of the community, just give us money and we'll kill a chicken for you. No, you say, no, do these acts, these 52 acts of unity, and that's how you show yourself worthy of being in the community. You see what I'm saying? Those 52 acts help us purge a lot of, like she said, ego, hurt, all sorts of healing and everything else. So that's what I love about what you got going on. It really makes people work for it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just paying their way in. So I appreciate you guys. OJ Yemi, you got anything? How can we support you? What you got for us?
Well, take the 1320 class. The more of us that's doing 1320, this is synchronicity. The more of us that do this, Mimic is about unification. the 52 acts of unity. It's about melanated immortals, immortal health and immortal wealth. So if we can all come together and we all doing our galactic signatures and we all doing 1320, not only can you can take this cosmology and this is ours, like you said, this is ours. So just imagine if 500, 600, 700 of us was doing this 1320. 1260 can no longer exist. And when I say 1260, I'm talking about that 12-month calendar and there's 60 seconds for there's 60 hour, that hour there. That calendar has suppressed us, kept us suppressed and oppressed. When you deal with the psychocratic media calendar, there is no currency. It's not about currency. It's about synchronicity. There's an order to that. And HP is going to teach us that order. So we can prosper, so we can grow, so we can know how to live our lives.
I say, and like I said, the goddess, and she's very humble, but we talk about community. If we get 20, that's why I wanted Goddess Be Indigenous come on, because she was gonna break that down. If you have two families, two tribes, or two families, that becomes a tribe. If you have three, I believe that becomes a clan, and so on, right? If we had 20 conscious families, if you had 20 people that believe in the same thing you believe in, not in all this other shit that we already know is broken. We don't care about your religions. We don't care about none of that other stuff that you know that wasn't prescribed on us. So let's leave all their religions. I don't care about your Christianity. I don't care about your Islam. I don't care about none of that. If we study what we're supposed to be studying, which is ourselves, and come in, show ourselves approved, do our unity, and come in and treat by the bylaws of what the community says. You see what I'm saying? I mean, what does that mean? What does that mean? That means if each one of us, when I say conscious, you can't be conscious and not have your own business. So that means if we had 20 conscious families to move back into the area where your landmaster is, or wherever those landmasters are, you go to. That's not saying we live right beside each other, but if we're living around each other, that means the same way the Jews do and anybody else do. Listen, if I need something done, if I need my taxes done, I'm going to this brother. If I need any kind of herbs or anything, I'm going to your shop. We have to support each other's businesses. We don't want to have that conversation. Everybody wants to shy away from that conversation about economics. But once we do that, we can stop talking about a community and really be a community. We got to support each other. And Goddess Matriarch, she has a lot going on without the help and without the community. So when we start tapping into these things, like she's saying, and understanding and coming together and not worrying about somebody trying to scam you out some money and trick you off somewhere, you ain't got to go nowhere. This is your land. Learn who you are so you can learn how to connect to your land. And like she said, everything will come in abundance. We really don't have to. You said it earlier today, Goddess. You said, what do we have to worry about when we don't have to worry about paying rent? If we own the land and we own and everything is all sweat equity. If we got the goddesses growing herbs and fruits and vegetables and all these other things, and we're trading, we know how to network with each other and we're supporting each other, who do we need? They done told us how to do it. They done broke it down. They done played in our face for too long. So, like I said, this ain't for everybody. This is for the ones that's already doing
it. I say.
Appreciation again, guys, for all the knowledge you're jumping on us. Sometimes we they might not understand it now, but they'll mess around and go research what you're saying and be like, oh wait, that makes sense now. You see what I'm saying? So I appreciate everything that you do, OJ Yemi. You know I appreciate everything you do. I'm gonna get us out of here. I look forward to being on your show pretty soon. You let me know when you want, because I really love everything about your show. Everybody on it.
Yeah, we're gonna have you on the melanin frequency. Yeah. He's gonna he was breaking some things down earlier about the silver and the copper and how this economic piece, and definitely want to have him on to our group and hear more about that. So I'm excited about that. I don't have the date yet, but I'm gonna get it to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And Roger, you in the 850, man. You can contact me anytime. I'm here all day. Just let me know when you want to meet up. We'll meet over in the art district if you want to at Black Wall Street. So let me know whenever you want to connect. I'll pull up on you. Outside of that, OJ Yemi, do you have anybody you want to keep in the prayers? Big shout out to
yes.
Right.
You know, yeah, there's several sistering. Diane Davis, Kim Coleman, anybody that just does not have anyone to uplift and pray for them. So
That's
we
it.
could just keep the sacred space. We could just keep sacred space, and know that everything happens because we are our own creators. And each opportunity comes for us to be sorcerers, no matter what that opportunity looks like.
That's it.
I say, man, tap, please like, follow, subscribe to High Priestess and Melanated Immortals. Please support these goddesses. Like I say, as we see, a lot of people try to trick you off your land and everything else. These goddesses are actually trying to connect you to the land. So appreciate you again, and I look forward to doing this again, Matriarch Monday. Peace and blessings to the goddesses, and peace and blessings to everybody in the tribe. Peace.
All right. That's it.
What is remembered is never truly gone.
The stone remembers the voices of those who came before.
And through time, their wisdom continues to speak.
Across homes, across distances, the circle reforms. Not entertainment, not noise, but remembrance. This is Orisha Stone, where memory becomes voice and the elders are never silent.